Listen, I just want to talk about a little bit of you getting into music.
Yes.
From high school, from campus.
Yeah.
How do you pick the passion for music?
I think it starts with that thirst for competition. You know, you get down to DV8, you're seeing everybody else there doing their thing. I'm basically almost like a hype man for the crew, hype man slash DJ. Yeah, you know, you had it here first, but all the rest of the guys in the crew are like rappers, right? So I'd kind of be there, I get the mic and I'm like, yeah man, we're killing them. Whoop, and I quickly pass it to my don't let me kill them. So I had to get better just for the sake of the group, because they'd be like, you guys are all right. So that, you know, of course, my naturally competitive nature, I'd be like, yo, what? We're all right. So next week I was writing, I was trying, I was pushing, you know what I mean, trying to get better. And so I think it started from that thirst for, wanting to get better, represent my guys as hard as they're going in, you know what I mean? Because like you've heard them, like the Myth, Langman, they were crazy back then. So it started from there. That was the spark. And then also, just as far as like representation on the continent, you know, I thought that we could compete. I was hearing like a lot of stuff coming from SA. You know, I think South Africa was the market leader those days. And I was just like, I think we can hang. I mean, of course. I mean, in that regard, but I'm talking like urban music, you know, my stuff, hip hop, all the rest. SA was kind of in the league with, you know, guys like Mischief, and it was like the beginnings of Double HP and them. So yeah, that was the start of that. I just wanted to excel and get better.
Is that when you guys created Clear Cut?
Yeah, so Clear Cut came about. We used to be like 30 guys on stage. So this whole entourage thing you see guys doing, it's from us. You know, like most of the big guys, you know, in the industry used to move one guy, one motorbike, get to a show, kill it. So us guys used to move like that because we'd be coming from like the court. We'd play basketball. And then like 15 of us would come through. Everyone's trying to grab the mic and do something. So we got up on stage. Mitch Guang is
the MC.
The MC of those nights. They used to pay him between 10 to 15K to MC for 6 hours.
That was a lot of money.
Whoa.
Yeah, but nowadays you have to pay him 15K in dollars. So it's, the levels then changed. So he used to host the battles. And we came through there. We do our thing, 30 of us. It would literally be like a 2-meter microphone cord. So everyone's huddling around, and we, you know, the next couple of weeks we're like, we can't do this anymore. So we're like, who's not serious about rapping? Can you guys go in the crowd, please? We can't be 30 guys on stage looking like some thugs. So you know, people slowly, just amicably, you know, said, let me just. I mean, and the 5 of us that stayed were who we formed Clear Cut with. So we always say, you made the cut, and we always say we're like a diamond in the rough, and we became Clear Cut, like a Clear Cut diamond. That's how the name came out.
How did your mom react? Because I heard by that time you had lost your dad. And your mom was in charge.
Yes.
I
think maybe she was in charge even before the passing of the no. But that was a little earlier. So like maybe like 10 years old. You know, when my mom discovered me rapping. So that was like when I was 10, and I went in the studio the first time with an intern who was about to catch a flight at Baba Studios. With Hope Mukasa. And and that is a man. The first guy who ever did a song for me at 10 years old is by the names of Steve Jean.
Of Fallon Records. Uncle Steve Walker.
Before he went to the States, crazy, and got all his talent and know-how and, you know, everything. So
give us a freestyle of that song.
The first
Do you
song
even remember it?
I don't give jack, cause I'm a daddy Mac, and I'm coming in with the shack attack. Better watch your back, don't slack, cause I'm the Mac. Hey! Somebody. I know.
What are you looking at?
Crisscross. I think Crisscross was big.
MC Hammer.
That was just a lot of shouting and dancing. You know what I mean? That was Crystal Panda.
So your mom picked interest in your music when you were around 10?
Yeah, I mean, she heard me. She's like, this kid has some rhyming ability, and I don't know where it's from. You know, because she used to listen to music all the time. Like my mom, even right now, she knows more artists than me in the country.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's like on some of your pages, like,
Sure.
man, dope song, yo. And you're like,
yeah, I spotted that on one of my songs.
Yeah,
Baba
like,
Yai.
Maggie,
She commented and I was like,
yeah.
who was?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, crazy, man. She follows everyone. She knows what everyone is up to. Who just dropped songs? She's about the industry like that, way more than me.
Yeah.
So she knows music. You know?
And she's been supportive from way back.
Yeah, with the talent, definitely. But in terms of like actually doing it, she's like, what is your plan, young man? What from A to B? B being the bank. How do you get from A to bank? That was always a thing. So you know, it made me aware that I needed to come up with a plan.
Was she the one behind the videos you were doing? Expensive videos?
No, I wish. Back then,
because abana bagamba aho navyo nawe mama we amuteka mu center nchi tasoya bichi.
Yeah, funny thing, she was unemployed by the time my dad passed away. So she was also moving and hustling and pushing. My sister happened to be in med school at the time. So even the years that I took off to do clear cut, those 2.5 years, is because we could not afford for me to go to school.
Wow.
So the story is a little bit different. And I don't know why I'm telling you in that
wait. This brings me to a question that I've been hearing, and I wanted to ask you yourself.
Yes.
You guys have shares in Pepsi?
Yes.
So
I don't.
But the family?
Yeah.
Wow.
But you are part of the family.
Wow.
So
No, not the family. Not the family. My dad. So my mom now by extension. So yeah, that ain't me.
And you look exactly like him. So basically, you have the shares.
Now, you guys are rich. You're rich. God, we don't tell us that story, but yeah, it's just you guys are rich.
Yeah.
Do you know having shares in Pepsi?
Crazy. Woo.
If I got my bitufu navyo, plan the kid, bro.
2%, baby. We ran the
But
team.
listen, I've been following hip hop from way back, and from your perspective, who made hip hop? Who made Luga Flow? You, Jenna, or Babaluko?
I'd say, first of all, someone cannot own. You can't own the genre.
But you can introduce the genre.
Yeah, I'd say that the first time I heard the term was from Sylvester, a show with Sylvester Abrams and Baba, all involved. So, and Luga, to be honest, I mean, I know they've changed the definition, but I was there, bro. Like, Luga was Luganda flow.
Yeah.
They were only representing Luganda. Yeah. When AY came over and did the song with Baba, is when AY was like, Luga means languages in Swahili. So now they made it to mean like all languages, but it was originally Luganda flow. I was there. I made the first t-shirts. Yes, I'm a hustler. So Luga flow was, Luganda flow, and they opened it up. And I think a lot of the guys that were training, a lot of the guys that moved into the Luga flow camp with Baba, first of all, you can't tell someone what to rap about, but you can act like there's some forces that are across town that are stopping you from reaching your potential. So that just happened to be us. We released the album. First album goes crazy. 14-year-old kids being flown out, first class to the Core Awards, sitting next to Kofi Olomide for lunch, sitting next to Oliver Mutukutsi for supper, sitting next to whoever, DJ Alicia for breakfast. You understand? It's like those type of moves, you make yourself a target. So of course when they're rapping about guys, they're like, Bafeki rapper, Bafeki this, Bafeki that. And I'm like, I spit whatever I spit, and it's pretty real and it's pretty dope. I don't pretend. I'm not fluent in Luganda, so I don't try to pretend that. So I've never been. You can never put me in a bracket.
So about Luganda, what fake? Is that what you mean?
That was the theme that they were getting to. So, people kind of took that on, and that's how they started to be friction. So what happened was you had kids coming in, like a guy from the north. Yeah. He's rapping in his language. People, Nyankore guys would come to the nights and they'd be rapping. And these guys were kind of pushing them out almost. Like, you need to do your thing. Or they'd see someone in, rapping in English, like a Tucker HD, Big Trill those days would have been spat on. You know what I mean? Because like there was that movement, like, oh, you guys, you're rapping in English over here, you're rapping in other languages. It was a mess. You had some people in the group that wanted people like Luganda to be what we do in Kampala. It was crazy. So I was like, listen, you take that whole movement, run with it. We're gonna start this thing called Yuga Flow. If you're Ugandan, doesn't matter what tribe you are, what color you are, what you're doing, how light skinned, dark skinned you are. If you're representing Uganda, UG, that's the flag we're gonna move with. So that's how Yuga Flow started, and then that caused problems. Luga Flow, Yuga Flow. But I was like, I'm not gonna be part of something that's degrading young kids for expressing themselves in whatever language they want to.
Or even boxing people.
You know what I mean?
So is Janelle your son?
Who?
Janelle, is he your son?
GNL. He's a very good rapper.
But he's not your son. You know what I mean when I say son. Like, did you bring him to the game?
He came after me. You know what I mean? And I helped him a little bit along the way. But he is his own.
How did you
artist.
guys link up?
The Myth was doing shows at Stakeout. So they'd have these every Friday. It would be crazy over there. Him and Peter, who was the owner of Stakeout, they do these like East African shows. So GNL started coming there rapping alongside the Myth, and really developing his style alongside the Myth. And then I came back, and of course me and the Myth are cool. So I was at studio one day. I just finished doing Bugubu and Saluni with Washington. We're at Mesat Semakula studio. Yes.
Oh,
Bugumu was recorded in the Mesat Semakula studio. So yeah. We're doing that. Myth calls me up. He's like, "Yo, there's this guy, my boy called G. Well, get him on some songs. Get him on.
You guys had phones. You guys had phones by that time.
Yeah.
Alcatel. The Blackberry.
Oh, I'm I mean, okay, maybe so the video
like a figure 8. Yeah. So and I picked up my Alcatel, and BlackBerry, that's late. Yeah, so
the Myth told you about
I told him to come through, man. And Bugumu took out some of my words, put him on there. That was G on the end of that verse. And then actually at the end of the next verse, though I told him to say it in the video, that's me saying Anya Luneta. So Anya Luneta is actually my slogan.
So that means,
but he ran with it. I was like,
that means Gino should call you Popsy. Wow.
No.
Christo.
Not at all. That's he's his own.
So after
own artist. You have beef with
no.
What did he say to
Come
Christo?
Come on. G is my guy. I like him.
Okay.
So after he met with you, after he worked with you, he got in touch with Shadrach.
Yes.
After you.
Yes.
That means you gave him the first shot.
Yeah. I think had they been on a project before or after? I don't know. I had just come back, so I didn't know whether the project had dropped before or after. But I think it's after because his flow was so different.
So this thing they say you guys had beef, what happened?
I don't think it was really beef from my side. Basically.